Hello everyone, it's Al Nygren again, Executive Director and Curator of the New Jersey Film Festival. We are here with the last of our filmmaker interviews for the fall 2016 season, which will be taking place between September 17th and October 28th on select Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings at our state-of-the-art facility on Rutgers University's campus in New Brunswick, New Jersey, Voorhees Hall, room 105. Most programs begin at 7 p.m. You can get complete information at our website at njfilmfest.com. Today we have a very special guest, filmmaker Cara Consilvio, the director of C.I.T. Tell us what C.I.T. stands for, Cara.
C.I.T. stands for Counselor in Training, so anyone who has gone to camp will be familiar with that term.
So this is a film that takes place before a camp actually begins, correct?
Yeah, in the days leading up to the start of a camp season, which for most camps involves their staff coming in, staff getting trained, and setting everything up for the kids.
You know, our jury just absolutely loved your film. They thought it was very sensitive. The cinematography is just mouth-dropping. It's just so beautiful. The lead characters are really very, very sensitive, and you feel for them too. So tell us a little bit about this film and how you got involved.
Well, you know, I've been thinking about making a short narrative film for a long time. I'd been working as a producer. I'd produced some of my friends and colleagues' short films. I'd made a lot of tribute videos, lifetime achievement videos for award shows as a producer. And I, a long time ago, was a film major and loved film, and then took the direction of being a performer, was an actor and opera singer, and then went very much into the opera world, where now I direct and produce opera as well.
Wow.
So, you know, when I started thinking about what film do I want to make, what resources do I have, I had gone to this camp. We filmed at a camp called Roads End Farm, which is in Chesterfield, New Hampshire. It's an amazing horse equestrian camp for girls. I went there from age 11 and into my early 20s. I was a counselor there.
Very cool.
So I knew that I might have a chance of being able to film at this place. And I think since I was 14 or 15, I dreamed about making a film there.
Wow.
And so then it was, what story do I want to tell? And I was lucky enough to be able to write for a location. And I wanted to write something personal. And so I started working on the script and went from there.
So it's partially autobiographical.
It is definitely partially autobiographical. Really the feeling of the movie and that sense of what it feels like to be on the periphery of someone else's tragedy that you have no control over and can't do anything to stop.
So you have this really dynamic kind of interaction between two female characters that are, you know, coming out of adolescence.
Absolutely.
They're in their late teens, Lizzie and Sarah. How did you find these two gals? They're really great.
I have so many friends. I wanted to write an accurate portrayal of a friendship of adolescence and a coming-of-age movie that was about something small in terms of the event, but that had a ripple effect. At that moment where you're very clear on morality, I think up until a certain point, things are black or white, there's decisions and you're told what's right or wrong throughout your childhood, and then something happens that really changes your perspective, and all of a sudden there is no right choice.
Right, and I mean, when you're watching the film, you wonder why the burden is placed on is Sarah, right? And you know, the lead counselor says something horrible has happened to her friend, and without saying any more, but you can just feel the burden that's placed on Sarah, and she has great difficulty, I think, kind of keeping it under wraps.
I think
she's not
so,
allowed to say.
and then, you know, thought a lot about why would that person put that burden on her, and I think it's when something terrible happens, people don't know how to process.
That's true.
There's no good way to deliver news. People process things in different ways, and I think by telling her, it's that character's way of processing the event and starting to move forward from it.
And in that sense, it's a story that everyone can relate to. Yeah. So tell us a little bit more about how long did this film take to make? And
Well, we had an amazing casting process. I put a lot of ads out on Backstage and all the places where you cast. We got about 600 submissions, and the women had to be within a certain age range. They had to be able to ride horses and swim. So we thought that would narrow, but no, we got 600 submissions. We auditioned 100 women, plus we had a lot of in-person, and then we had a lot of online submissions. And our lead, Emily Viernickel, had just come off of being in a film with Peter Sarsgaard that went to Sundance, The Experimenter. We felt very lucky to get her. Laura Kaiser is the other lead and is just working all the time, and really just felt so lucky to get such a wonderful cast.
Yeah, The Experimenter, that's the Stanley Milgram story. Cool.
And she has a great little scene with Peter Sarsgaard. And, so
that's very nice, but you can tell that they know what they're doing. They were obviously not amateurs. They're really very professional, and the whole production is really very well put together. Production values are extremely high. I mean, the shots of them riding the horses at twilight, if I remember correctly, is really quite beautiful.
Which was one of the challenges. I wasn't sure how the horses were going to react to the boom. Your earlier question of how long did it take to make, we had 3 full days of shooting. So we arrived on a Sunday, we filmed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we left. So we took everyone from New York City to this camp in New Hampshire. The entire cast and crew is from New York. And on the first night, we did have the lead actors all ride the horses they would be riding to make sure that we paired them up properly, to make sure. Some people might have exaggerated their riding skills. Just a refresher lesson for everyone, and then also for the horses, testing the booms around the horses.
Right, so they're not spooked out.
Yeah, making sure we chose horses who wouldn't be spooked. But even then, when we were shooting in the woods, it's hiking through the woods with our crew, trying to get ahead of the horses and yet not have them spook as they come around the corner and see the equipment. So it was tricky.
And only in 3 days. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yes.
Well, folks, you have to absolutely see this wonderful film. We're going to be screening it on Sunday, October 2nd. There's a series of short films. And the funny thing is that our festival has a lot of films that focus on women and strong women and women that are able to come up with solutions to great problems. And I think that's really kind of neat given the election that's coming around.
Absolutely.
And I thought that it was really telling. But folks, you have to see this film Sunday, October 2nd at 7 p.m. Cara's going to be there to do a Q&A with the other filmmakers after the evening is done. She'll also intro the film. And it starts at 7 p.m. in Voorhees 105. You need further information, feel free to reach out to us at 848-932-8482. And then you can also visit our website, which is njfilmfest.com. Thanks so much for joining us, Cara.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.